Have you ever learned about the elements of a text? Do you know what the elements of a text are?
Mm-mm.
No? So things like plot or characters and setting. Have you learned about those? Have you ever had to like analyze those in a text?
I know like what the setting is,
You know what the setting is? What is the setting?
like where it's taking place at.
So just knowing all of them helps to understand the text better. I'm going to show you a video, and it's just going to tell you about the 5 elements of text structure. Okay, so from that, it had all 5 elements in there. Do you think you can name some of them?
One's, it was like the villain one with the A. I'm trying to remember. It was like, there was the...
Think about the things that were like written at the top. So you know the setting. So what else was written at the top? What else did it like talk about?
Have like...
What are the people in, like the people in it called?
People in it?
Yeah, people that are in a story. What are they called?
Well, I think I know that one because it's like talking about people and animals. And
So what is that called? What's the word for it?
Is it? I don't think it's a noun because a noun's a place. This is just an animal or a person.
Yep, an animal or a person. What is that? It's a character.
Oh, okay.
Character. So setting, character, and then how the story is set up. So, like what's happening in the story. Do you know what that's called? There's the P. If you don't, it's okay.
Nope.
You say it's plot. Plot. So it's what happens. So it's like something happens and it rises and more things happen and then the climax.
Oh, I know that. We did that in language arts.
And so like the big thing happens in the story and then it goes down and then it closes. So setting, character, plot, theme. So the theme is just like what it's about, what the story is about. And then the last one is the point of view. You know the points of view?
Yeah, I think so.
How many are there?
Like, I think there's like 3 or 2.
There's 3. There are 3, so it's first, second, and third. It's pretty easy to remember. First is like, if you use the word I or me. Second is talking about you. So like, you know this, you did this, you did this. And then third is he or she. So he did this, so you know everything about that one character. We're just going to go through this little story. I'm just going to read it out loud. And we're just going to find each of the elements within it. So, my most embarrassing moment. The most embarrassing moment of my sophomore year was how I earned my nickname Crash. It all started right after school when I turned onto the busiest street by the school. First, I pulled up right behind this truck at a stop sign. After a second, a fellow older student told me that I was really close and that I was going to hit the truck in front of me. At the moment, I was trying to tell the kid that I was giving a ride to get back in the car because he was hanging out the window. Since I was distracted, I thought the long line of traffic had started to move, but it hadn't. In the blink of an eye, I hit the back of the truck in front of me. The devastation sunk in. I was so worried that I damaged the truck, but all I did was scratch his bumper. Lucky for him. Then it came time to look at my car. My car was ruined, the hood was buckled, the front end was pushed back, and my headlights were broken. Humiliated and scared, I still had to drive my totaled car home. During school year, I never did hear the end of what happened that day. So, to go through it, I'm just going to start with the characters because I think that's the easiest to do. So, the characters were the student that was driving the car,
The person in the truck.
the person that was in the truck in front of him. Who else was in there?
The
So-
dude hanging out the window.
The dude hanging out the window, yep. So if you want to write that down where it says characters. So, driving car. Driving truck. Hanging out window. And then there was one more character. It was the person that told him that he was going to hit the truck in front of him. Alright, so then I'm going to do point of view because that's also fairly easy to see. So in the text, does it use I, he, she, or you?
Yeah, I use you.
It does use you some of the times, but is it, look for the first, on the first sentence. Does it use I, he,
I.
she, or you? I. So he's talking about himself. So he's going to use I earned my nickname Crash. I turned onto the busiest street by the school. So it's first person point of view. If you just want to write that.
First person.
First person. And then the setting. So where do you think the setting is?
Outside of school.
Outside of school?
In the parking lot.
And was it before school or after school? You can look back if you need to.
I think it was before school. After school.
It was after school. Yep.
Would that be still setting?
That's still the setting. So he was outside of the school after school. And then the theme, so just the entire story, what is it about? In like one
His
sentence.
most embarrassing moment.
Which was
The car wreck.
car wreck. So car wreck is the theme.
How do you spell wreck?
Wreck. W-R-E-C-K.
I got that part. I didn't get the W.
It's kind of like a silent W.
Oh.
I don't know, in a way. And then last is the plot. So it's what happens in the beginning that goes up to the climax and down. So what's the climax in this? Like, what's the big thing that happens?
He hits the truck.
He hits the truck. So that, I'm going to put that in the middle of the box because that's the middle of what happens. So he hits truck. So before that, what was he doing?
What did you say?
What was he doing before he hit the truck?
He was in his car and he was moving up.
So he was in his car and he was going home. And why did he hit the truck?
Because he thought the line was moving up.
But what was there was something that was happening that made him not pay attention.
The dude hanging out the window.
So that was a distraction. So he was in his car going home and was distracted. And so then he hit the truck.
Where does distracted go?
Where does distracted? I just said he was in his car going home and was distracted.
Oops.
It's okay.
I just did like that.
That's fine. I do that all the time. Distracted, then he hit the truck. So what happened after he hit the truck?
He had to drive home in his wrecked car.
Had to drive home in a wrecked car. So that's the plot because it just kind of outlines what happened without all the little details.